Panaca Project presents the Chavín Culture, one of the most pre-Inca cultures of Peru. Chavín was discovered by the father of Peruvian archaeology, Julio César Tello, who considered it as the model culture of Peru, because it was at that time the culture with the greatest antiquity. Its appearance within the cultural horizon occurs in the period known as the Andean Formative, and is considered within the first cultural horizon, developing between the years 1200 and 200 before Christ. Its expansion occurs along the Peruvian coast and highlands, with greater influence in the departments of La Libertad, Lima, and Ancash, being the latter the place of its origin, specifically between the Huachesca and Mochna rivers, in the Callejón de Conchucos. Its maximum expansion on the coast occurs from Lambayeque to Ica, and in the highlands from Cajamarca to Ayacucho. Their influence was mainly religious, due to the ferocity of their gods. In the new techniques they used to improve their productivity in agriculture and also in their vision of astronomy. Its center of progress was the fabulous temple of Chavín de Huántar, located at 3,180 meters above sea level, and it was a class society, with the predominant figure of the priest, who was part of the privileged group with political, religious, economic, and social power. As it was a theocratic society, where government was in the name of a god or a superior force, and the priest was its representative, and had to have the knowledge of astronomy, agriculture, hydraulic engineer, medicine, and science in general, contributing with this knowledge to achieve the welfare of the population, thus legitimizing the power of the priest elite over the other social classes. The construction of the Chavín de Huántar temple, or ceremonial precinct, began with the so-called Old or Ancient Temple in 1500 and 300 before Christ, which was decorated with cornices, slabs, friezes, and lintels carved with the gods that ruled Chavín, among which the so-called smiling goat stands out. This image was found in a lithic sculpture in the shape of a knight or a spear, located in the center of the temple, and is known as the Lanzón Monolítico, a figure towards which the sacrifices were directed. When the offering was human, it was led through a set of labyrinths of subway galleries, directed towards the center of the temple. During the journey, a thunderous sound that simulated the roar of viewers could be heard, generating fear and dread among the people who waited expectantly outside the walls. However, that terrifying sound was nothing more than a subway system of water channels designed to produce shock and commotion. Another divinity found in the ancient temple was the Telo obelisk, which shows a couple of mythical pins in the form of large alligators with feline and serpent feathers, an image that will represent the creation of the world and all species. Over the years, a larger, more complex building called the New Temple was built in the Chavín Temple. In this new building, the architectural style of the temple's facade stands out, as well as the impressive Portada de los Falcónidas, which shows engraved, next to each column, an hybrid character standing in front with his face in profile, looking upwards. It also highlights the well-known Stella Raimondi, or god of the staffs, divinity that ends up displacing the monolithic Lanzón. The sculptures of the lintel's columns, known as cabezas clavas, are characterized by an essentially anthropomorphic repertoire where humans' faces were mixed with those of jaguars, serpents, condors, and caimans, representing the transformation of the priest into a character with feline features. Chavín art was varied, standing out in an extensive variety of lyric sculptures, its finishes in ceramics, and the detail of its textile figures. The Chavín culture began to decline 500 years after its emergence, fragmenting into several parts. Over the next 1,000 years, very regional cultures appeared to occupy the void left by this important culture. However, its influence endured over time. The Mochi inhabitants, for example, 300 years later, will recover Chavín motifs in their famous ceramics, while the inhabitants of Tiwanaku will begin to worship a god of the steppes, similar to the image of the Stella Raimondi, whose cult will spread throughout the Peruvian highlands. We are Panaca Project, and we invite you to subscribe and to visit our website. Follow us on our social media and share our story.